Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Real Grown Woman Talk. I'm your host, Leslie Denman, and this is where grown women come and just talk about conversations that impact us and things that can help us live in and on purpose. And I'm so excited to have you tuning in. And I want to invite you now to go ahead and share out and invite other grown women to come in for some real grown woman talk. Tonight, we are talking about the spirit of a warrior, the holistic approach to conquering your health. And I got to tell you, we live in a generation full of energized professionals longing to provide innovative solutions, right, for the ever changing wellness industry. Now, equipped with an exceptional vernacular, on the matter is Bavaro compra I mean, you know what, comprised professional. I'm trying to look like I ain't reading this, but let me just go on and read this. Miss Jean Turner. Okay, Jean is an author, speaker, holistic health nurse coach, licensed minister, Army and Iraqi war veteran, and the CEO of the Spirit of a Warrior Life Enterprises, LLC, a specialty created to help others draw on their innate strength to overcome and reclaim their life. Jean, and and I could read all of this, Miss Jean, but let's just get into this because you are simply amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing. So, welcome to Real Grown Woman Talk.
Thank you, Leslie. Hey, girl. Thank you for having me on your
Yes,
show. What a phenomenal title. I
I'm
love it.
telling you, it was you inspired it all. When I saw your story, I was like, I have got to have a conversation with this woman. We share similar passions, but I didn't tell y'all yet that she is a conqueror of cancer and CHF. And many of you who may know me, and if you're new to the show, I'm a woman that's been diagnosed with breast cancer 3 times and diagnosed with CHF. So I'm like, okay, this is a woman who's doing it. And you know what? We need to have a conversation. Now, that's our story. But when it comes to health, we all have a story. And this conversation is really for those of us, who kind of, you know, teetering on the fence with our health. Coach Nurse Jean, she's gonna get us in. She's gonna get us in check tonight. So welcome again, Coach Jean.
You giving me too much credit, girlfriend.
Yes, welcome. I don't want to mess up your name. Chahadri Khalil. Welcome to the conversation. All right, let's get started. Are you ready to get started? Because I have a whole lot of questions for
Look,
you. A
let's get it
whole lot of
popping, girl.
questions.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
Now, I mentioned it a little bit, but share with us, how were you able to really conquer cancer and CHF? And I know she got a book. Now, she ain't going to give us everything. You need to buy the book. But give us enough to give us some hope.
Look. First of all, I just thank God for the opportunity to be joining you on your platform. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
So, part of Spirit of a Warrior Life Enterprise, and I truly believe this because I spent a lifetime, all my adult life, the last 34 years of my adult life, as a nurse doing what I do. And so I believe that we are physical, mental, social, emotional, spiritual well beings. That health is more than just our physical being, our physical man, right?
Right.
And so basically, when I took my mind, when I stopped thinking, oh my God, why is this happening to me? What did I do? What did I not do? You know how we have these conversations with God sometimes because we think we're being punished, right? But when I stopped focusing on that, right, and came to the realization that, okay, I'm not in control because I thought I was in control of my destiny. I'm not in control. What am I supposed to be learning from this? Number one, who is going to be blessed as a result of what God has allowed me to walk through? When I started shifting my perspective to that and it became more of a spiritual journey for me. Then I was able to really look introspectively and draw on that innate strength that I believe God has placed in all of us. And I'm talking about resilience now, right? That innate strength that God has placed on the inside of me and each and every one of us. And I just really just, the more that my perspective shifted, my mindset shifted, and the focus was off of me and on him, and what the lessons were and who was going to be a blessing to further down the line, then that's when I believe that my faith truly began to kick in. And I just started believing his word, his promises, speaking them over my life, because we know the tongue is a mighty little weapon, right? And what we say out of our mouths, we can speak life or we can speak death. We can speak healing, we can speak health, or we can speak death and dying. And so I made the choice that I'm going to speak life, and I was not going to die in that place.
Oof, that is so true. People often ask me, like, Leslie, you just don't look like what you're going through. How are you? And what you said is so true. I'm like, what many people don't know is that the diagnosis is okay, but it's the mental that you really have to work on. The mental will take you out quicker than the actual disease, stress and worrying. And it's like, listen, if you won't stand on God's word, you stand on his word. And it's like, it's a blueprint. Like, here's what you need to say. Here's what you need to believe. I mean, you got a choice. You can think I'm dying. Now, not saying that we don't have those moments. I mean, because
Right,
hearing nothing prepares you to hear that word. You know, I tell people
right,
that nothing really prepares you for that. But it doesn't mean that you acknowledge it to a certain extent, but then your faith got to kick in. The spiritual warrior in you has to rise up and say, you know what, I'm not gonna die here. And it's beautiful. And I know that it seems like it's easier said than done, but that's the fight. That's why this is called the spirit of a warrior.
girl. See, you get it.
Mm,
You
no,
get it, because
yes.
there were many days I sat upstairs in my bedroom crying and just in a depressed state because I was feeling isolated, like no one understood. There are plenty days that, yes, you don't feel like fighting. You don't feel like the warrior soldier that you are.
Mm,
But but
mm,
me personally, I've never
mm.
been a quitter. I
What?
was not raised to be a quitter.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm
No,
straight
ma'am.
out of the streets of Jamaica, Queens, New York, the
What?
hood. I'm a soldier, or retired now soldier, Army veteran, Iraqi. I was not raised to be a quitter. And
Yes.
I was not raised to say, no, I can't. My daddy used to, you get a whooping if he heard you say, I can't do something.
Mm. I know
Man,
you
Eugene wasn't having
did.
it. Okay. So, no, no. Surrender was not an option
It's
for
not an
me
option.
based on how I was raised, based on the soldier in me. Quitting was, and surrender was not an option.
Yes, based on the God that we serve. Come
Come
on now.
on, come on,
Like,
come
no,
on,
no, no,
come
no. See,
on.
moments like this, when you read Job, it gets personal.
Yeah, I
You know,
do.
many of us read it and we're like, oh, Job, man, that's what I'm saying. I want that kind of faith. Honey, that doesn't come. You got to earn that kind of faith. You got to really believe and know that and then you have to shift from believing. It's kind of like the Hebrew boy said, even if he don't, we know he well able.
Come
And you
on.
got to know that this is just a testimony.
Girl, yeah. See you. Oh, see. We already got
Yes,
it popping, girl.
that's
We
why
already got it
we here to
popping.
encourage
What?
some people
Yet, look.
today. You hear me?
Yet though he slay me,
Yet
yet
will I
will
trust him.
I trust him.
Come on now. And that's what you gotta conjure up just as easily as you can sit there and talk about I'm just gonna die. What about my kids?
Mm-mm,
It's like
mm-mm,
it's like
mm-mm,
what is that gonna benefit you?
mm-mm. Oh,
Why don't you
oh,
try what we talking about? Why don't you
come on.
activate that faith and wake up the warrior that's in you? And we talking about sickness and disease, but honey, it's for anything.
It's for anything. It's
Anything
for
you going
any
through.
situation, any
Yes.
circumstances. I don't care if it's finances. I don't care
Yes.
if it's on your job, professional. I don't care if it's socially, people saying what they want to say about
Yes.
you and doing what they
Yes.
want to do to you and calling you everything but a child of God. Look,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the spirit of a warrior
Indeed.
applies to every situation, every circumstance. Did he not say we are more than conquerors?
More.
That's why I don't tell people I'm a cancer survivor.
Uh-huh.
I'm not here and I was not made to just survive. I was created to thrive. We are more than conquerors.
Yes, that is so important because people know that about me. When I talk about it, I say I was diagnosed. I don't claim it. So you got to be real careful what you say. I was diagnosed. That's just to give people encouragement to
Mhm.
understand, it is what it is. But honey, that's not who I am.
That's right.
That I don't know if that's me. Is that me, Lord? It might be me. I'm telling you, I might have to undo this speaker because I'm getting too excited. Girl, I'm telling you. And it is, you have to be careful what you speak over your life.
Yeah.
I'm sick. I'm worried. I'm nervous. You can feel those things, but they do not have to come out your mouth.
Come on. That's
If
not
they
our
do, it better be
identity.
a butt behind it. It better be a butt behind it.
It better be because that's
Okay?
not our identity. Everything you just described, that's not our identity.
No.
We were created in the image of God. We are an extension of Him. And His name is not cancer. His name
Okay.
is not diabetes.
Come on.
His name ain't none of that. Okay. So that's not, no.
Yeah. And it's
Mm-mm.
like having these moments. Jesus is a perfect example. Even when he was getting ready to go to the cross, he was like, Lord, if
Mhm.
can you is it possible for me to let this cup pass? And but then I always say you gotta have a nevertheless kind of faith.
Come on.
Nevertheless, Lord.
Come on. Come on.
Ready. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this because I wanna, I call mine the book of Leslie. You know how they got all the books in the Bible? There's the
Uh-huh.
book of Leslie, okay? And when you read that book, you're gonna be encouraged, okay? Because he's no respecter of person.
That's right.
And if he
That's
does it for
right.
us, he'll do and at the end of the day, it's always God let your will be done.
Right.
And you
Right.
can't lose with that, honey. We could stay right there forever. But and we've talked a little bit about that. But when we talk about your and on this journey, we just got to be honest. And I was sharing
Mhm.
with my niece when she was going through her journey, like you got to participate in your healing. It's like we
Mhm.
believe for healing and we want God to heal us and we petition for Him to heal us, but we
Mhm.
have a part that we have to do too. And so I'm sure, and I know I'm now this is the area I've just honestly raised my hand and say I struggle in this. Okay. I struggle in this area. Me battling weight is and it's not so much what I'm eating, it's when I eat.
Right.
Like I'm an emotional eater. And
Mhm.
I am an emotional eater. And because, everybody got things going on. So I don't always like to pick up the phone and call people when you're going through something. It's just easier for me to close the door, get in the bed, and then I look up and I'm like, oh. And now I'm looking at you, so I understand that you don't have that struggle. So walk me through how what happened in your mind, in your mindset that shifted you. Because I'm sure looking at you that I see health and wellness all over you. So go ahead, encourage me.
Okay, so you want encouragement with weight loss, eating, what, whatever the situation.
Yes, yes, yes,
It doesn't even matter whatever the obstacle is.
yes.
So let me just say this, okay? There are many reasons, right, why many people battle with their health and wellness goals. There's many reasons, okay? I know a big one is weight. And when people approach me as a nurse coach, one of the first things they want to help with or seek help with, how can I lose weight? I want to look good in my bathing suit this summer. I just want to look good, period, right? And so that's a huge one. But there are many reasons why people struggle to lose weight or overcome some wellness or physical obstacle. Number one, many things have a root. Actually, there's a root cause to everything, right? So part of the challenge, part of it is that root, that thing that is causing them to whether it be overeat, whether it be to smoke, whether it be to drink, whatever it is, that root, we got to get to that root. That root has to be uncovered and pulled out. So everything has a root. Got to get to the root cause behind what is driving whatever the obstacle is. Okay. So that's number one. And then, when we talk from a physical perspective, many people have physiological imbalances, whether it be hormones. I'm 57, going on 58 this year, God willing. So I'm at the place to where, menopause, the hormonal imbalances, it can be something like that, a hormonal imbalance. And I believe that an imbalance in any part of our bodies creates disharmony throughout. So we got to get to the root. And like I said, it could be a hormonal imbalance. It could be emotional. It could be some trauma. Past traumas cause a lot of unhealthy behaviors. So, and then the other thing is mindset. I just finished talking about this on my podcast earlier this evening. Do you really want it? What is your mindset? That's why it's so important we be transformed, that our minds be renewed, because mindset is probably the number one thing, to be honest with you, Leslie.
Yes, that is so true. I changed my mic because that noise was just driving me crazy. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you very well.
Okay. All right, good, because that was driving me crazy. But that was so. I was just thinking when you were talking, I was like, that is so true. And for many of us who have been battling weight for so long, it's easy to overlook the root cause because we're conditioned, and we tell ourselves, I don't feel bad about that. Everybody got a vice, we all got something we dealing with. But when it comes to serious disease and all of these things, we still have an obligation again to participate in our own healing. And each one of us gets to this place where, you know what, I need to do better. I need to change. We all get there at different times. So, no, we're not, no slight to anybody. The
Right.
reason we're having this conversation is hopefully to awaken us to understand that this is the temple, and it's the only one we have. And the older we get, I mean, we are always what we eat. But the older we get, I'm telling you, I hear Nia Capra in my ear. I hear Patrice May in my ear, and these are women that have been encouraging me. But I had to get to what you were talking about, get to the root cause of why I choose to overeat. And it is a choice. And now it's a conscious decision every day, every meal. That's why I can understand certain addicts in situations like my vice is food, but for other people, it could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be. So I take it literally. I kid you not. Right now, for January 2021, I take it meal by meal.
Right.
That's the only way. It's like meal by meal, I have to take it, and I have to challenge myself. And I have structured a couple of days where I have a cheat day, and then I have a day where I do this, and I have a day where I have no meat. And it's not always perfect, but again, you got to have a plan. And that's where I'm at. It's like, okay, listen, you got to participate in your own healing. God has been too good, and you need to share your testimony, but you do need to look good while you're sharing it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Look, we gotta look like we children of the Most High.
yes,
We ain't supposed to be
yes,
walking around broke, looking broke down, busted up.
yeah,
Nah,
can't
come on now.
breathe.
Come on.
Can't breathe and stuff. And it's
Nah.
like, again, no slight to anybody. We all, got our things we're going through, but
Right.
it just comes a time when you just got to embrace a more healthier lifestyle,
Right.
and we've been talking about it the whole time. But when you're talking to your clients, I'm sure not all of them may be faith based. Some of them may not. I mean, Christians, whatever. How do you? I know you have the holistic approach, but do you have clients who are not Christians? How do you tap into that whole of attaching faith to your health to really help them deal with, some trauma and tap it into the greater that is in them?
See, and that's a very good question, because I don't put my faith on anybody, right? Because I know that people have different beliefs, different value systems. And so to be honest with you, once I know what they're coming to me for, what it is, their pain point, so to speak, right?
Mhm.
Then the first thing I asked them, okay, what is your motivation? What is it that would motivate you? Because that's key too.
Right.
For people to discover their motivation, because without a motivation, without a why,
Mhm.
you're not apt to be continuous and really go after your goals. And so I always start with them with the question of what is your why? And really, whether you're faith based or not, I always start with what is your why?
Mhm.
Want to lose weight? Why do you want to quit smoking? And I have a system where I will ask the five whys. I ask
Mhm.
why do you want to lose weight? They tell me why. Then I take what they said and there's a why to that until we get down to the root. And sometimes that
Mhm.
takes five whys
Yes.
for us to get down to the root. And
Yes.
so it's about getting to the root. It's about helping them to discover what would motivate them make positive lifestyle choices. So, and really, to be honest with you, people don't even know of my faith until I'm a believer like this. I don't have to Bible beat nobody. I
Mhm.
can coach you and sit and have a conversation with you without mentioning God or Jesus.
Yes.
Why? Because the spirit in me, my
Yes.
light will shine. You, I guarantee, will ask, and I've had people say this. There's something different about you, but I can't put my finger on it. We don't always have to Bible beat
Right.
people and oh Jesus, oh God, and no. Let's have a conversation with people.
Yes. And that is so comforting. Um, because we do tend to do that, and not all of us, but it's true of enough of us
Yeah,
that our faith should be on display without us even saying a word. Sometimes it's just a spirit in us. Because
exactly.
if not, then it becomes pride and ego, and really becomes more about us than it does about God.
Right.
And while you were talking, I was thinking, is that me or is that? Do you hear that, or is it on my side?
I
Okay.
don't.
I apologize, y'all, if y'all hear that. But we in Texas, so we had a storm, and my internet, is still hit and miss. But just stay with us, stay with us. One of the myths I wanted to challenge, and this is
Mhm.
for any plus size woman that says that and I'm all for loving the skin you in, but honey, like I've lost 30 pounds and kept it off, for over 5 years now, and I had gained almost 50 because of
Mhm.
some other things that were going on in my life, right?
Right.
Again, emotional eating. But I made a commitment to myself, okay, I'm not gonna get, if I don't lose weight, I ain't getting no bigger. Okay. And I'm telling you, that is a lot of weight. And even though you might feel good in your own skin, you don't feel good carrying all that weight around.
No.
We need to quit telling ourselves that, and I know I'm all for self-confidence and loving yourself, but let's just be real about it. That's
Right.
not good on your knees. That's not good on your back. It's just not good at all.
It
So
ain't
we
good on your heart, your lungs. It ain't good on no part of your being.
right. And that's why it's so important, because we all have a purpose in life, and we want to make sure that we're in the best physical shape to fulfill that purpose. And we just need to stop telling ourselves that. Okay, ladies,
Right.
can we just quit doing that? We can love ourselves, but come on now. Let's not get comfortable in that place. Let's just not do that. That's the whole reason we having this real grown woman talk with
Right.
Coach G. So thank you all for tuning in. But um let me ask you a few more questions, because this conversation is getting so good. But what are some key takeaways that you embrace as a result of your health crisis?
Oh wow. That's good. That's good. As a result of my health crisis, the key takeaways were number one, I'm not in control. I mean, my diet was decent. I'm not going to say that there wasn't days that I would go all day and eat ice cream and potato chips because I did have those days. I thought I could outrun a bad diet because I'm a marathoner, right?
Mhm.
But key takeaways were number one, I'm not in control. Number two, was right where I was supposed to be at that time. Yes, I didn't understand why I was going through that because I thought I was doing all the right things to stay healthy. But God knew.
Mm.
God knew. And what I thought was punishment was actually God propelling me into God ordained purpose and destiny.
Mhm.
When I look at where He's brought me from and where He's taken me to, where I am now, where He's taken me, wasn't punishment. It was process. I
Yeah.
had to learn that. Okay. So that and grow through what you're going, learn the lesson that you're supposed to learn so you don't have to repeat the course. Those are the three key takeaways that I gained as a result of going through what I call my suddenly health crisis.
That's good. That's really, really good.
One more.
Uh-huh.
God and God alone is the give and restore of life because no one could have raised me up. I coded in the emergency room the morning of August 8th in 2019. Nobody could have raised me up from that. I was unconscious and out of it for almost 2 straight weeks. So God is the give and restore of life. Four
Mm.
things. Four things.
Oh, don't
Four
we serve an awesome God? Oh, I tell you. Oh, oh my goodness. Now, you mentioned marathon. Now, what else do you do for fun?
things. I love to travel, but COVID stopped that in its
I
tracks.
know,
So
right?
I have not traveled anywhere. Yeah, except 4 hour drive to the beach and an 8 hour drive to go visit my son when he got back from stationed up there in the DMV area right now. Traveling to read. I am an avid reader. I love to read. And yes, Coach Jean loves to exercise. I just love to run. I love to exercise. The endorphins I get from exercising, girl, doing a good cardio workout, especially a run, you can't beat that.
Girl,
That's a
I didn't get
natural,
that. I didn't
that's
get
an
that enough.
all natural antidepressant, anti-anxiety med right there. Okay.
I didn't get that anointing out of it. Just thinking about running, and not even a marathon, just thinking about running. Now, when I was younger, now, don't get me wrong. Like the guys be saying, I almost went pro. Back in the day, I could get out there. But so, did you always have a passion to run?
No, no. Being in the army, you have to be physically fit, and that's
Right.
part of the Army physical fitness test. But it was only 2 miles. I really gained a passion from running and started doing distance running like that in 2006 when I was in Iraq.
Hmm. Now,
Mhm.
how many marathons have you ran?
I've run only 3 full marathons, but I've run about 30 plus half marathons, 13.1 miles. Yeah.
And what's the distance of a marathon?
26.2
And a mini marathon?
is 13.1.
Okay,
I've
so
run over 30 something of those. Yeah.
so I probably just skipped then. I couldn't even put.
No, look. I ran the entire routes, right? Except for them marathons now. I get to about mile 19 and 20 and have to walk, run, walk, run. But it's doable. Look, you'll be surprised. But now, look, I walk more than I run. I do like intervals, like walk run intervals. I don't because the years of pavement pounding like that. No, I'm 57. I can't be doing all that.
And I try to walk. I try to walk a mile, and I'm like, and you talking about 13? To look up and say I got what 12 more to go? Oh no, no. I'm not gonna say that. Let me be careful what I just said. Be careful what I speak. But
That's
I
right.
did not get that anointing. I'm telling you. Oh no. But yeah. Again. So what else do you want people to know about you? You are
Let me see.
absolutely phenomenal. So what else can we know about you? I mean, what else can you add?
I okay. What else can I add? Well, I'm a wife, a mom. My grandkids call me G Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just love to have fun. What people don't know about me, which is probably going to be a surprise to you too,
Mm-hmm.
I am a true introvert.
Me too.
Really?
Me too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And they don't
Over
get.
to
I mean,
turn
I
it up.
used to look at people and think introvert because I had a different view of it, like isolate. But all my life, I'm like, I could just stay. There's been times my sister would tell me, "Are you depressed?" I'm like, "No, I'm happy. I don't have to. You know, when I get out, I have fun. You know, but
Right.
being at home, quiet with a book or my remote, or I
Girl,
love it. I mean,
girl.
like now, we've been blessed to work from home for about a year
Yes.
now. God, it has been a godsend. Not
Yes.
that I don't like people, but oh,
Look, look, this is grown woman talk. We're
yes,
gonna keep it real.
yes.
I love people, but I don't always like people because I gotta have my space, right? I refresh and rejuvenate being by myself, like you said, with a good book.
Yes.
Now then, a half a glass of wine, which I really don't indulge. Now it's just a drop or two every 6 months because I'm still on about 3 or 4 meds, so not
Mhm.
can't drink. But
Mhm.
that time alone to myself is priceless. That's how I recharge. That's how
Yes.
I rejuvenate. That's like being at the spa. And I can go out by myself too and enjoy myself.
Girl, I
Don't
do
get
it
it
all. I
twisted.
can't tell you how many times I done slipped away here and there. We got a close knit family. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ease off over here for a minute, ease off over here for a minute. I'm for real, I love, and I ain't gonna, I mean, I enjoy my own company. It's like some
Yeah.
people like, girl, they get cabin fever if they in the house, for a whole day. It's like, girl, I gotta get out. I'm just the opposite. I
Mm.
could be hanging out. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home now because I can, recharge and rest. And I
Oh.
love it. I love
Girl,
it.
yes, yeah. And you know what? A lot of people have been bugging during this pandemic with the social distancing and the stay-at-home orders. Look, I'm an introvert. I don't have a problem with it. And then being in the army for 25 years, girl, it was plenty of times we were on lockdown on the base because somebody somewhere in the world was cutting up, acting crazy. Oh,
Mm.
look, this ain't nothing.
What
What?
made you
Girl.
decide to go into the army?
And girl, I didn't even go into the army till I was 30s.
What?
Mm-hmm. I did not until I was 30s. Actually, I was, and I always got to count back. Let me see. I was 32
Wow.
when I went in because I had been a nurse since 87 and I wanted a different, I wanted some more adventure.
Okay.
Nursing had got to be kind of mundane and
Mhm.
I just wanted a different type of nursing. And that's what you asked for. Because when I went in the army, boy, it became a different type of nurse, and I ended up in Iraq and overseas in several places. And girl, yeah, I ended up in Hurricane Katrina with Joint Task Force Katrina, helping the people in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. So it has definitely been. Ended up working in a prison in Iraq, of all things. Bad
Yeah.
enough you deploy, but then you working in a prison over there, girl. Yeah. So watch
But
what you ask
on
for.
some level, that's really it's really exciting, but it's also service too. It's
It's
like you
servitude.
get to do it all. So that's good. Like you said, be careful what you ask for, honey, because you just might get it.
Just
Okay.
might get it, girl. Yeah, but it's definitely servitude, and I am a servant. I have the heart of a servant.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful. And you also have a radio show, right?
yes, radio show just debuted it 2 days ago. Was the debut here in the ATL, and then the
Good.
podcast. I've been podcasting since last
Okay. And what's the
year.
show?
Health chat with Coach Jean.
All right. And where can we listen to that? Tune in to.
So, Health Chat with Coach Jean, the radio show, you can live stream on the internet. Just look up 1570 WIGOAM Atlanta. And then the podcast, every replay on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker, podcast platforms, and pray.com.
Awesome. Awesome. I have so enjoyed you. I mean, from the moment we talked, it's like we've been knowing each other forever.
I
Like,
know. I know. When you
that's
reached
why
out
I
to
love
me,
having these conversations because I get to meet some of the most amazing people. And your story is just absolutely encouraging. It is amazing. It's an inspiration of just a true example of applying God's word to your life for health
yeah,
and healing. So And I know I have the information there on how people could get in touch with you. But which platform do you hang out at the most on socials?
On socials, it is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and now Clubhouse. Clubhouse.
See, I'm an Android girl. I ain't down with Clubhouse yet. I'll get there eventually. But
You'll get there eventually, but that
yes,
is the
I
spot.
will.
That's the place to be if you got an iPad or an iPhone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm a Droid girl, but my sister them always harassing me about coming over to the I'm like, nah, I'm good right here. I'll stay over here. But let me ask you, because I always like to know how women, my guests and my sisters rock their real grown womanness. So I'm gonna ask you, are
Okay.
you a stiletto, wedges, or tennis shoes?
Girl, give me a pair of high top sneakers or regular sneakers because I love to exercise. So
Oh,
give me some sneakers, give me a pair of dungarees. I'm old school New York. We say dungarees, y'all say jeans.
okay.
But give me some sneakers, some jeans, some workout clothes, and some lip balm or lip gloss. But look, I can roll with a black business power suit, some wedges, and some matte lipstick. Oh,
Okay.
and camouflage. I'm retired from the army, but I'll rock some camo in a heartbeat. So that's
Okay.
me.
Okay. All right, go ahead then. Now it's the weekend, right? You've had a long week. So what is your ideal? Like what would you do? Would you curl up with a good book? Would you have a remote? Would you hang out with your girls? Would you be with your boo? Or would it be like I'm just down for whatever?
Mostly a good book and hanging with my boo. Love
Oh,
my boo. That's my best friend.
oh,
We done been through thick and thin. But every now and then I like to hang out with the girls.
okay.
A matter of fact, I'm looking for some folks that's down to go travel and do some dope things, go to some dope places. Right?
Oh
You,
well,
you
honey, let
feel
me know
me?
because I'm a
Girl,
travel agent too, so we can make that happen.
girl, yes, when this pandemic is lifting, these numbers have decreased drastically and it's
Okay.
safe to travel again.
Oh,
Look me up. Look me
okay.
up.
How long have you and your boo been together?
We have been together 24 years, married
Listen.
for this year, made 22 years of marriage.
Oh, that is beautiful. I was like, okay, God, I'm bootless again. So I need to meet somebody soon so I can at least celebrate like 20, 30 years or so. I'm planning on being here for a minute and I want to be,
Yes.
so I'm like, okay, no rush, but let me just speak this into the atmosphere. But anyway,
There you go. There you go. And then can I tell you the second time around was 100 times better, baby. Mm.
I believe in that. I am so believing that. Nurse Coach G Turner, thank you so much for stopping by Real Grown Woman Talk. It has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for just sharing your testimony, your life. I love your spirit, and I'll be tuning in to the show. Do you have we've been talking about, the spirit of a warrior, the holistic approach to conquering your health. And you shared a lot of nuggets that I know those who are listening. Again, thank you for tuning in, and those who are watching the replay. I know that it'll cause us all to pause and just take a moment to think about, what, I want to be here for a minute and I want to be healthy, not just here, but I want to be healthy and active and,
Yes.
feeling alive and able to move around and do the things that I want to do. So, do you have any closing remarks before we in this conversation?
Two things. Number one, yes, health is important. We want to live long, healthy lives, but think about the quality of life you
Yes.
want to live. And the second thing is, you don't know how resilient you are until resilience is a requirement.
Woo, that is so good. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in, and feel free to leave a comment if you're watching the replay. And again, thank you so much, Coach Jean, for stopping
Thank
by.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
We have
Leslie, for having
certainly.
me on your show. It's been amazing, and we got to keep in touch.
Yes, yes, yes. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another great conversation here at Real Grown Woman Talk. Until our next conversation, stay bold, stay beautiful, and stay blessed.